Still getting things set up, but I figured I'd start a little early because Insert Coin Theater was kind enough to broadcast with me. Oh, my volume's going to be on. Just a second. Make sure this is actually working. Oh, yep. Okay, don't need an echo. So, once again, my volume is still a little bit low, and I apologize for that, but I am working on it. Looks like I'm leaning over into the microphone, which is not actually what I'm doing. Okay. Let me work on actually getting some background music. I recently just switched file servers, excuse me, to just a hard drive on my oops, that's just me talking. That's not going to work. Let's just do that for now. A little out of sorts. Getting there. Good enough for now. So this is the UnEarth Initiative CD release party. And it's the final release party that I have for this year, which I know they've come kind of fast and furious for the last 2 months. It's been 3 of them, hasn't it? This is my 3rd. But, oops, there we go. Kind of all my projects piled up near the end of the year, which I guess is okay. Like, it's not that big of a deal, really, but it's led to a lot of things to do. Because even after an album is done, it's still like at least a day just to finalize everything, upload it to DistroKid, which is my digital distribution. They push it up to iTunes and all that other stuff. Just create the Bandcamp page, which takes a surprisingly long amount of time, and push it up to SoundCloud, which I haven't done yet, which I need to get an album preview together and do that. But it's been good. It's been really good. Hey, there's people in that logged in. I need to actually spam my Twitters and my Facebooks. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to ask everybody out there, how are you doing today? I hope you're well. Typing like that sucks. Add the cover art, because one thing I learned from social media is that if you include an image, it takes up more space, and then people will be more likely to see it. Scummy? Maybe a little bit, but hey, it only takes up like 20 characters in Twitter, so why not? Okay, that was exciting. Yeah. So like usual, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hang out for like 10-15 minutes and try to get everything set up, and then I will start the soundtrack. And the soundtrack's about 40 minutes. I think it's like 39 something. So it's not too bad. And then we just hang out until people decide to go on with their days. And that's okay. I got too many things open right now. I really like that, this is a total tangent, but I really like that Bandcamp allows you to sell your entire discography now. I have a bunch of people that I follow. I keep getting a notification that they set up their whole discography for like 25 or 30% off, which is super rad because buying individual albums kind of sucks sometimes, but at the same time, man, there's so many good musics. I could sing along with my own song. How cool would that be? I'm also glad that like the webcam only shows this because everything over there is stop making more music. Well, after this one, I am going to be done for a little while. I am hoping to move on to game development and try to make a game or two just to see if I can really. But there are always projects to work on. So I'm always going to be working on something. I already have like 2 or 3 album ideas that I want to do, but they are a ways off. Excuse me, I shouldn't cough right into the microphone, should I? But yeah, what I was saying is I actually was lucky enough to have enough money in my PayPal over all the commissions that I did this year to buy a new computer, and I spent a good part of today putting that together, and like everything outside of this little window right here is just a horrible mess. But the computer looks nice. I haven't actually plugged it in yet. That's probably tomorrow or the next day, but I've had a very busy couple weeks, and the end of this week and the start of next week is really going to be no different. December times, man. I realized listening to this song again, I haven't been listening to the Covered in Cats album a little bit over the last couple days, and I realized I didn't do a very good job mastering this song, which is too bad. At some point, I might go back and update it because I think it really deserves a better master job. Hey, Leslie. Glad you could make it. Hey, Remus. Yeah, I think that butt was mine, if I remember correctly. How you guys doing tonight? Thank you for showing up, by the way. So I guess I should say I'm assuming that the Leslie M there is the Leslie who is one of the developers on the UnEarth initiative. Um, so it's very cool that I'm able to get one of the developers on the stream and just kind of hanging out. I don't really expect some kind of big Q&A, but I mean, if you have questions to me or to Leslie about the game, feel free to ask. I'm sure we're both very open about that. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I always forget something when I set up a stream. Seems to be working though. Last time I forgot to change the title of the to the thing, so it's like it said I was playing Binding of Isaac while I was actually releasing an album, which was kind of dumb of me. Found it like halfway through. The Unearth Initiative is it's kind of like it's not really resource management. It's a little bit kind of like a mix of The Sims and Minecraft. You're kind of building stuff and crafting stuff while you're managing a bunch of people. The twist, or at least one of the twists, is that that all of the people are kind of misfits. They're like liars and thieves and streakers and like they have all these little quirks, so you don't always have full control over them. Sometimes their devious nature takes hold. And yes, I did make the music for it. I spent the last probably year or so. I think I talked to Leslie first about a year ago, And over the past year, I've been making the music, and I actually finished it 3 or 4 months ago, I think. But there were a bunch of little revisions that we had to make and that kind of stuff. So yeah, so it's a finished album, and that's actually coming out right after this stream ends. Which I should check my Bandcamp to make sure that it's actually ready to be released. And then I'm thinking like 5 or 6 minutes we'll get going on the album itself, just to make sure that oh yeah, thank you for the link, Leslie. I should have posted that. So I can read the punchlines, well, the description of the game from the website, because it's a pretty good description. In the 31st century, Earth is coping with overpopulation by sending its least desirable citizens on a poorly budgeted colonization program in outer space. After crash landing at your destination, your colonists set out to explore and survive on an alien world. But it won't be easy managing a motley crew of ex-convicts, political subservients, and unstable citizens. Subversives, not subservients. If you can band them together into a team and overcome their eccentricities, you can build a successful colony. And more information about the game can be found at, the link that Leslie linked. Yeah, I've played a couple early builds of the game, and it's very well written. It's very fun to play. I'm looking forward to playing or continuing to play as it continues to iterate. It's been a lot of fun. And writing the music has been good too. It's kind of a deviation what I had been doing for the last year or so, which is kind of dark stuff like what's playing in the background now. This music is more along the lines of, I actually referenced Mario a lot in this, like Mario music, kind of more upbeat and happy and stuff, but there's still like undertones of all this other stuff and it's in space, so in space helps. Cool. Well, it looks like the Bandcamp's all set up, so I don't have to scramble for that, which is a plus. I haven't looked at this in like 2 weeks. So we'll give it another couple minutes, see if any more people show up. I do like to start the stream early, just because I do like to chat with people and stuff. It should be playing. Somebody had this problem last time where the background music wasn't playing, but my voice came through. I do have the audio volume for the music very, very low, so I'm going to turn that up a little bit and see if you can hear it now. And if you can't, I don't really know. Okay. Well, thank you for the text, buddy. Let me know if that helped. It's also a quiet song, which doesn't help too. Because OBS is recognizing. Okay. I'm going to turn it up this way. There's like 4 different volume controls for this streaming stuff, which kind of sucks. But oh, and that's going off. Select region. Whoop. So let me know if you can hear it now. I did turn it up. Hey, Tim, how you doing? Okay, so as long as you can hear the music, how about I turn it up to like 50%? So you should be able to hear it now. My only problem is that I don't want to like drown out my own voice, and that's kind of the problem where it's like I don't have a proper mixer yet. I have like an audio interface, which I'd show, but my camera's sitting on it. But I don't like have a mixing board, so I can't like control all the levels in one place. I have to use like Winamp, which is set currently at 20%. excuse me, it's set at 15%, which is flowing audio into OBS, which is at 28%. Okay, good. As long as I'm still audible, that's really what I worry about. Oh, I think my buddy Brian is on the stream, and he just texted me a question because apparently he's too lazy to log in. He asked, how does writing game music differ for you personally from your albums? That's actually a really good question. Okay, that was just from Shaw. I really do like working with like somebody else. It turns like writing music into a collaborative endeavor instead of just sitting and doing whatever. Like I loved working with Covered in Cats, my last album, but it's very like you're working in a vacuum. Like you're your own critic, and there's really nobody to tell you what sounds good and what doesn't, and that can be, you can kind of turn it into an echo chamber at some point, and then it just kind of gets out of control. But when you're working with somebody, when you're collaborating, it's a lot of fun because you have somebody to bounce ideas off of with, and just work together on stuff. And it does change the overall dynamic and the process of writing music, because instead of just sitting there until it's done, I'm bouncing ideas back and forth with the developers. Oh yeah, and I think that's another good question. It is very much easier to find. Very much. Sorry, I'm thrown off right now. I find inspiration when I have other sources to work with is a lot easier. Like I said, I actually went to a lot of Mario music to some of this just to get like the overall feel of the songs. Like for the desert theme, I went and listened to like 5 or 6 different Mario desert themes from like Mario 64, some of the new Marios, and I think even Mario 2. But like they all have these very similar themes that go on them. They all have that satir, that like guitar sound, the strumming, and they all have like offbeat bongos and like a bass that's also offbeat that plays against the bongos, and it's a lot of fun. No, this song is not from the UnEarth album. I'm actually going to start the album when this song ends, and then I'm going to put myself on mute because I want you to listen to the music, not listen to me talk. But I'll be in chat, so that's good. And then hopefully I won't blow anybody's ears off, because I am going to turn the volume up. I am going to turn the volume up so you can get the actual audio from the music rather than just my voice, because right now it's quieter. And a lot of people on the YouTube recording said that it was very quiet, and I agree with that. It was very quiet. Speaking of quiet, there's no more music. So I'm going to plug that in there. No, stop. Okay, so that's all set up. It should be anyway. And this is the UnEarth Initiative soundtrack, created over the past year or so. And yeah, it's about 40 minutes long. I think it's 12 tracks. Yeah, it's 12 tracks. So yeah, I'm going to be in chat. If you have questions, I'd be happy to answer those. And otherwise, just sit back and enjoy, and let me know if the volume is too high or too low, because I'm just kind of shooting from the hip at the moment. So I'm going to start it at 50%, and if it's too low still, just let me know and I will turn it up. Here we go. And there we go. That is... Oh, I almost hit stop streaming instead of stopping Winamp. That would have been great. So yeah, that's the UnEarth Initiative soundtrack. I think my phone just buzzed. Nope. Yeah, it was a whole lot of fun to make, and I'm super thankful for Leslie and the whole dev team for having me on the team and working with these songs. And who knows, maybe I'll do more music as time allows. We'll see how that goes. Now let me get some random background music without blowing out everybody's speakers. That's the wrong thing. The problem is I have both Winamp and Windows Media Player trying to get the default thing. Anyway, thank you for your kind words, guys. That means a lot to me. Tim, that means a lot to me that I'm able to sell somebody a game for just the soundtrack alone, because honestly, it's like one of my life goals, at least as a musician, is to just have that kind of notoriety. Like, I don't want to be famous or rich or anything. I just want people to like the music that I make so much for various, whatevers, that it actually inspires them to go look at the product that I'm working for, like Disaster Piece, like his work on Fez and Mini Metro and all of the other games that he's worked for. It's just like, all you need is his name, and it like guarantees more sales almost, and that's incredibly powerful. And I'd totally like to be in that position someday, but that's a little ways off still. Well, thank you, Tim. I really appreciate that. The other thing that I like to do on stream is actually release the album live, which is super exciting, I know. So if I click this button right here, boop, this is my Bandcamp. And this is the unreleased version of the soundtrack. It's very exciting. So I can go in here, click edit, and this is where I can change everything. And yep, it's set to $0 right now. I actually changed my pricing structure recently, where my most recent albums are $0, and like my back catalog is $1 or $2 an album, which I think is fair. Mostly I did that because I want to inspire people to just download the entire discography, like this guy right here, rather than just going piecemeal and just downloading album after album after album. And that saves me a bunch of download credits, and I think it's also worth it. I mean, it's like going to be 14 albums for $21, so that's not bad. Anyway, I go in here and click edit, and then I go down here and click publish. Make sure I got everything right here. I've checked this like a million times. I always check this a million times. And, yeah, we're good. So, bam! Your album is now published. That's it. So, this album is now live on my Bandcamp, which I will include the link in, include the link in the chat in case you just can't contain yourself anymore. Oh, it still says my mic is muted. There we go. Yeah, and then I need to go and like edit my website and all that other stuff, but don't need to do that on stream. That's tiresome. I did, however, go on DistroKid and upload all of this album for digital distribution. So that should be it should be going on iTunes and Amazon and Google and all the other places for either purchase or streaming like Spotify. That should all be going out like tomorrow. They're actually really fast about that. I'm kind of surprised at how fast that you can get stuff distributed these days. Merry Christmas to you guys too. Thank you. Yeah. Now it seems like the audio volume is very loud compared to my voice, but I'm going to turn that down just a touch. You want to see my super messed up desktop for my second monitor? Look at all that crap. Get out of here. Have a bunch of games that I want to play. I'm working on like a precision platformer like Super Meat Boy, and I bought a bunch of platformer games. So I'm going to do a little bit of research and try to figure out how those games tick. I already have a little bit of a platformer, but you know, I have an interesting mechanic that I can play with. So yeah, that's really all I had today. I'm totally game for sitting around and chatting with people if you want to talk about pretty much anything relating to the album or not. And yeah, 7 new notifications on the Twitters. Cool. I appreciate all the signal boosting you guys did. That helps a lot. I mean, it says that there are 6 people in chat, and you know that's good for me. That makes me happy that, you know, even a handful of people showed up and willing to hang out with me for like an hour. Makes me happy. Oh, this is talking in it. I need to find all the songs that I have that don't have talking in it, because now I'm like talking over myself and it's weird. Yeah, the other thing is that now that all these album releases are out of the way, and hopefully after next week things will slow down a little bit, I can start actually streaming games again, and that'll be fun too. I have been hammering my way through the Binding of Isaac, trying to unlock everything, and I'm getting close. There are some things that are taking far too long. But yeah, I like streaming. It's fun. And I used to do a bunch of Terraria, and I might do that again, but I kind of burned myself out on that. I was doing it like an hour every day or something like that, and that's no good. I'd like to play like Ink or something, or Super Meat Boy on stream. I actually got super far, or really far on Super Meat Boy, but I wouldn't mind starting over. Same with Binding of Isaac, like those types of games that you could just play forever. Somebody actually responded. So, yeah, I don't know. If you guys want to talk about anything, you just give me a topic and I'll talk pretty much forever. I've been drinking pop, which is a bad idea because I need to go to sleep in like 2 hours, but now I'm all hyped up. Mostly because I'm always nervous about doing these types of streams, you know. Like, I'm always worried that nobody's going to show up, and then I'll feel like a tool just talking to myself for 20 minutes before listening to an album, and talking to myself while listening to my own album. Looking forward to Star Wars. Oh, man. I am, but I'll call it cautious enthusiasm. I really hope it's good. I hope that it's interpreted in a way that's productive to the series as a whole, rather than being Disney just kind of seeing dollar signs. And I don't think it's going to be that way, at least not intentionally, but like, I do like J.J. Abrams' work. He does good work. I like the Star Trek movies. I like I like the movies that he does, even though sometimes his style gets a little annoying. But overall, I think that it could be a very good movie. It looks like that they're doing a lot of yeah, Remus. They're doing a lot of throwbacks, since it's like, I don't know how many years since episode 6, like episode 7 takes place. But I know that they're doing like throwbacks and stuff, and that's really tricky. Like, you can either do that well, or you can just be like, oh, here's Darth Vader, oh my god, or like, here's Luke, and it's just like, yeah, well, that's great. It's just the same thing. Oh, 30, okay. 30 years. between the two. That's good. But it's like you can weave that into the story like productively, or you can just put it there just because, oh, well, he has to be there because that's what gets the hype, you know. And I'm hoping that they do it productively, just because otherwise it's such, you know, that legacy is the right word for that series. It's just like it has such a legacy. I mean, it started way back, and it birthed a lot of special effects for cinema, or at least it made it accessible and popular. And not really for episodes 1 through 3, like those effects were already there, but they did polish them to such a degree where it was still pretty incredible. I mean, as much crap as you want to give episode 1, like the pod race, oh my god, that blew my mind out of my head when I saw it the first time. Granted, I think I was like 14. So that might have had something to do with it. No, I couldn't have been 14. When did that come out? I know I saw it with my mom. Duel of Fates. Ah, that's the one with Darth Maul, right? I don't know anything about Star Wars, like beyond like the super top level stuff. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, it did good. It like, for all the pitfalls that episodes 1 through 3 had, I think that there was still some redeeming qualities for every movie. It's just like all of the weird and kind of ham-fisted stuff outweighed all the good things, and that's really too bad. But I mean, as a whole, like as a 9-episode or a 9 like movie episode series, I think that it's going to be good overall. Like you can sit through the first couple movies and still enjoy them and kind of understand what's going on and get the entire story arc. And I don't know. I'm kind of interested to seeing all 9 of them together, you know. It's kind of weird. Because, when I was a kid, there was only the 3, and then they released the other 3, and it was this big to-do, and then everybody thought, well, okay, well, the series is over, and now it's all resurrected again, and it's coming back. Really? I hear the opposite of that actually fairly often. That Revenge of the Sith is liked more than Return of the Jedi. But, man, I don't know. I need to watch them all again. It's been so long. It's crazy, man. It's like my entire life that has been around. I hate Ewoks. Racist. Speciesist Tim. You gonna try to keep Ewoks out of America? See, that's the thing I don't understand, Prince. I have no problem with people pre-ordering tickets, but like I don't get it. I'm sure like things are gonna get spoiled for me anyway, but I'll just watch it when the theaters aren't crammed full of people like 2 weeks afterwards. I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing it, but like I said, it's like this tentative enthusiasm where it's like I'm looking forward to seeing it, but I'm also just like, oh god, I hope it's not terrible. I need to change the music that's playing because all of these songs just have me jibber jabbering all over them. Hey Tim, I need to be on your podcast again so I can rant some more. How fun would that be? Ah! Shut up, Ben. Just go like that. Blind Faith. Yeah. It'll be good. It'll be a good movie. yeah, and all the hype. I hate hype so much because it clouds people's and my judgment of what what it actually could be or what it should be. Like it's like the herd mentality, it's like if a bunch of people are excited, it's like, well, I have to be excited to be part of the crowd. But at the same time, it's like, am I being excited because I'm part of the crowd, or am I excited because like I'm actually genuinely excited? Or is it just like I'm overthinking things? I do that. I'm sorry. But yeah, and making all your friends jealous too. There's that. That's important. You gotta be the alpha of your group and have all the knowledge that nobody else does. Hey, I got an email from a new release from Abstraction. Greetings, Benjamin Burns. Abstraction just released UnEarth Initiative OST. Check it out here. Thanks, Bandcamp. Well, it's cool that you got tickets. I'm sure it's going to be crazy because, all the hardcore fans are going to be there, like at the midnight release or whatever. The only midnight release that I was really ever a part of was Firefly. And that was an experience. Like, I was so hyped for that movie. And I'm sure that's what it's like for Star Wars fans. I mean, I can only imagine. It's just like you're so pumped up about it, and you're surrounded by people that are so pumped up about it. But of course, Joss Whedon, being Joss Whedon, did some unpleasant things to characters that everybody loves. I mean, spoilers, but it's 10 years old, more than 10 years old now. It's a long time ago, man. I should watch Firefly again, though. Firefly's good. All right, Remus. It's super super cool that you were able to show up, and say hi to Brian for me too. Love you guys too. We need to hang out again sometime. But yeah, I think that this is going to be kind of close to the end for the stream, at least for the moment. Like I said, I have no problem like hanging out with Tim or just starting another. Brian does suck. I get it. Just hanging out and chatting. I love talking about stuff. I never shut up unless I'm actually talking to people in person, and then I'm super shy and don't talk at all. What was I gonna say? I got a bloop on my phone and I lost my train of thought. Brian wants to do lunch. Wouldn't eat with that jerk. Yeah, and Tim, I'll jump on your TeamSpeak more often. It's fun to talk to you. But yeah, I'm looking forward to do streaming too, just in general, because then I can just go rant on whatever I want. I actually am thinking about doing a stream for the platforming thing, just to kind of break apart all the stuff that I kind of notice while I'm playing the game, like the stickiness of the wall jumping or like the variable jump height, and just kind of I like breaking apart things into like their constituent elements. And oh man, I'm slouching again. Ooh. And just kind of going from there. So yeah, I think that would be fun. I might try to set that up at some point. Probably next week after Thursday, so probably the weekend after next. I have 2 overnights next week, which is going to kill my sleep schedule for a good 3 days. So anyway, I'm going to call it for now. Thank you guys so much for sticking around and staying on the stream and asking questions and just kind of generally hanging out. I really appreciate that. And I could be super cheesy and play that For You song that I wrote last month, but I won't. But I do mean it. Like, you guys help keep me moving, and I wouldn't be where I am without you guys, and that means a ton. I can't thank you guys enough. So yeah, Yeah, you guys have a good night too. Thank you, Tim. I'm sure I'll talk to you on Twitters and Facebooks and everything else. So, yeah, that's all I got. Now it's just awkward silence. This song has me talking in it too. For hating my voice so much, I do talk a lot in my music. I apologize for I don't apologize. It's always conveying a good message. Anyway, I'm going to call it. Now I'm just rambling. You guys have a good night. I'll talk to you later. Whatever. I don't know how to sign off this stuff. I'm just going to click stop. That's what I'm going to do.